What up? What up?
What up, though? Woo.
Episode 68.
68. All right. I'm glad you remember now these last few weeks.
Dude, I've been writing that shit down.
I know, man. Let's go.
Wrote it down. It's on the first page here.
We're getting up there.
That's right. Welcome, everybody. Episode 68 of the Carbon Footprint Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean. And every week we get together, have a couple of drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. And we got another drink for you guys today.
Yes,
Hit
sir. Boy, I don't even know what we calling this yet. We're going to have to think of a name for it by the time we drop it on IG, the recipe. I don't know what we call it, man.
I don't know what yeah.
It's delicious, though, man. So peep this. It's our take on I'm a fan of whiskey and ginger ale, usually. But this is a different little take on it. We rinsed the glass in absinthe. So just rinse it, pour the absinthe out.
Or shoot it.
Yeah. Or shoot it. You know,
depending on how you feel.
Yeah, depending on how your day's going, your week, you know, how you want to remember that evening. So rinse it, dump it out, fill it up with ice, hit it with 2 ounces of, we did Woodford bourbon. You could do a rye. We thought the bourbon was actually better. So we tried it with the rye. It tastes better with the bourbon. Do 2 ounces of bourbon. Do a couple dashes of Peychaud bitters. Top it off with ginger ale.
No.
And the secret ingredient to this.
Hit them with the secret ingredient.
We not only did we have rosemary infused simple syrup, we had rosemary infused simple syrup from the Garden of Sean.
Damn right.
We had some fresh ass, organic ass.
Hit them with the.
Yeah. Bro, this shit tastes like Christmas. This rosemary is on point.
So we took the rosemary and put it into a little bowl with simple syrup, and then muddled it to get that flavor, and then we still garnished the drink with the rosemary.
With the rosemary, man. So you do half an ounce of that rosemary infused simple syrup, and then garnish it with the rosemary, stir it up, have it. This shit is good, man.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's the first time we tried this. Even gave it an attempt, and it came out good, man.
So if y'all got ideas that I infuse the name of the podcast in it, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
I think y'all been a little quiet lately.
Yeah.
So I want to hear from somebody.
Yeah, bring the drinks. I know some of y'all outkeys. Like, we're not the only ones.
Oh
y'all
no, man. Dude, I know a dude. I'm about to call him out. Shout out to you, Brandon. Brandon was like, man, the drinks, bro. Keep them coming.
He was digging them?
Yeah. He was liking it. He said, it's a good thing to kind of get around with his boys afterwards and be like, oh, man, let's try this. I heard about this drink. It's supposed to be good. And, yeah.
That's dope.
So,
Brandon, hit us up, man. Let us know what you're drinking or which ones you like, man. Hit us up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never met a boring dude named Brandon in my life. So I know Brandon going in.
All right, man. Carbon footprint of the week for me
hit him.
Goes out to Clearview AI. So this is a company. They're not brand new. I've seen some video of them and of like the owner, which I can't recall the owner's name, but anyway, they make software, facial recognition software.
Oh, they working for the man.
Yeah. So it's essentially it's a cool program, bro. So like you basically take a picture, and this thing scours the internet, the public internet, for pictures of you.
Oh, shit.
And then based on those, you can, if you've ever taken a picture or if anybody's ever taken a picture of you and posted it online, this shit will find you. And it's actually helped police departments and investigators solve crimes that they've been able to solve for years.
So it's on some like person of interest type shit. You remember that TV show?
No.
It's a TV show called Person of Interest, and the premise was like this super computer like that they would use to
yeah.
They would do like the facial recognition software. I don't think it lasted long, but I remember that being like the premise by it, and I was like, it's coming. Stop giving these people ideas.
Yeah, right. And so, right now, it's all investigators or the police force in different areas have been using this. But CNN interviewed him about a year ago.
Okay.
And when he did that, so the guy that was the interviewer, they used him as sort of a guinea pig, and he's like, here, like take the picture of you, and then boom, all this stuff comes up. What was crazy was it not only caught pictures of him that looked like the picture they took, but it was smart enough to catch him if there was pictures of him in there, like from the side, even if he like covered his mouth. Dude, there was a picture of the guy from like 15 years ago. It was like some paper in the small town that he grew up in that was online, and it didn't need, like, if you looked at it, you can go like, yeah, that's probably the guy, but it didn't look like a spitting image.
So smart enough to know that,
yeah, bro,
this is what this guy would look like now.
Right? Yes, that. Yes.
What's the technology behind that? Like, did they talk about, is it bone structure? Is it?
Well, it takes everything into account. I mean, even like the biometric, like the spacing of your eyes. It's everything, bro. It takes everything into account, which is why it's able to sort of catch you if the pictures of you from the side, or like he did the same thing. He did a test where he covered his mouth, took the picture, and then hit search, and like all the same pictures came up.
That's it. Yeah, because I guess you can't fake the distance between your eyes and your cheek to your like chin or the top of your cheekbone to like all that. If it counts all that, it goes like it's probably pretty unique. It's probably going by points, whatever. Wow,
it's crazy. So this is the spooky part was, the guy, the interviewer, brings on his producer, and he's like, "Yeah, I want you to do my producer because she's never online and she's very private and what have you." They did her. And a bunch of shit comes up, and she's like, how is this picture here? Like, all of my accounts are private. But then they figured out that if her accounts were public at one point,
it never goes away.
It doesn't go away. That's what they always say somewhere. That shit, bro. They always say it like, right? If you post something, the shit doesn't go away. Like, it's there forever. Like, you put it out in the fucking cyberspace.
Private, there's an archive somewhere on the internet that was at some point public, and it just from that point in time, whatever. Wow.
Yeah, bro. So I'm just thinking. So I'm looking at this, and I think that the way that they present it in the interview, it's like, oh, it's helping the cops. It's helping, right? Everything is good about it. But what's to stop somebody from making an app that then I can take a picture of somebody, do a quick search, and then find their Facebook, their Instagram, their Twitter. You know, I could find addresses, relatives,
if I'm like a stalker,
right, dude.
You think about like celebrities who have stalkers or normal folks now, right? You walk down the street, I would just say just a normal folk. Let me take a picture of that, and then now you pull up everything, dude. Yeah, that is kind of creepy, man.
It's creepy, bro. So I was like, yeah, like everything else, man. It's always presented with good intentions,
but we don't know how to have nice things.
Yeah, like. Humans always will take something good and figure out a way to use it for malicious purposes.
People will people, man.
So don't know. The videos that I saw of like when they interviewed the owner, and I think if you just Google like Clearview AI, you can go on their website and you'll see these videos that I watched from like a year ago, and so I was thinking, is this company still alive? But then there was something just as early as as recent as July where they just got like another like $30 million of investments. So
do they have, I guess, police forces or whole cities or whatever that are like subscribing to the
I don't know if it's whole cities, but
or?
essentially, yeah. So essentially they go into these law offices or law enforcement offices and go, hey, use our product for like 60 days for free. If it doesn't help you, good. But if it does, we can do like a monthly fee or whatever. Yeah. But there's a mobile app.
So a cop could, or the idea is a cop puts it on whatever their mobile devices.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know if it's restricted to like that. That's all they advertise on the website. I don't know if it's restricted, but you figure like that technology, like that's gonna.
It's only a matter of time. Bro.
It's only a matter of time, and that's my point. You present it as something really good. And then you figure out a way to present it really good to the public to say, hey, like use this thing and this is going to help you find, your buddy that you haven't, got in contact with for 20 years. You know what I mean? It'll be something like that. And then
it's interesting because there's a very practical and positive use for it, right? Mm-hmm. Missing child, shows up on any camera anywhere, in the world, or missing person, you want to track down a long lost relative or whatever, like. Dude,
one of the cases he talked about, they were able to find like a pedophile. And the way it happened was somebody at a gym took a picture of themselves in the mirror, and in the mirror's reflection, the dude worked there. So it's that good.
So they just go by the metadata on the photo. Oh, that's the LA Fitness at da 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 da.
Well, no, you go no. Typically, like you'll get on because it's all public pictures, right? So you typically like click on that, and it'll be like, oh, that's Juan Lorenzo's, Instagram account, and somebody can hit you up and say like, hey man, looking at your Instagram account, this is the law of, this is the whatever Orlando Police.
Yeah, what gym was that?
Where did you take this? And you go like, oh, I took it at Joe's gym on Central, and then they go over there and they go, hey, have you guys seen this guy? Oh shit, that guy works here. He's a janitor. Oh shit. And that's the way they found this guy.
That's insane. You know what it made me think of, bro, when you're talking about it? You remember The Dark Knight, the movie with Heath Ledger as the Joker? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember, towards the end of it, there's a scene, Bruce Wayne creates this like sonar system, if you will, using the mic on everyone's cell phone, and it creates basically a sonar where he's getting images on this massive. So like Morgan Freeman, I think he plays Lucius Fox, so he puts up these massive screens, and he basically has anywhere in the city where there's a microphone, he's picking up like images, and he's using it to track, essentially trying to figure out where Joker is or whatever. Okay. But it was crazy because like the Lucius Fox dude tells him like, yo, as long as this thing is in this building, like you're basically spying on the entire like city, like I'm out kind of thing. And at the end of it, whatever, uses it for its intended like good purpose, and then it self-destructs itself or whatever. But it made me think of that, like dude, that kind of power in the wrong hands. Like you said, we can't have nice things.
There's so many wrong hands.
So many, bro. So many. And so many fun like things to do with that. I don't know.
No, man. Like I said, so this is one of those sort of carbon footprints cool, where I go, not a big deal now, right? But as that technology advances, and then essentially will become commonplace, right? That'll be on somebody's phone eventually.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely will be. It'll be one of those things years from now that we're all talking about. That like, damn, you remember when we couldn't? It's like, you ever Googled something by an image? Like you could take a picture of a bottle. And
I've done that. What was it, like Google Lens or something like that, right? Yeah.
And it'll tell you like if you want to take a picture of that, where you can buy it, or like it's only a matter of time before that kind of stuff just gets progressively better and better and better.
Yep.
And what a time to be alive, man. Yeah. What a time. It's wild. Listen,
what you got?
I had a carbon footprint this week, man. This guy certainly
I'm afraid.
Mark. You shouldn't be, man, but actually maybe. Bro, you heard of there's a conservative radio host here in Florida, not too far from where we are. His name was Mark Bernier. He referred to himself as Mr. Anti-Vax.
Okay.
So he lived and died by this anti-vax thing. Like he was very outspoken against the vaccine. Very. Is he
I'm assuming
COVID.
He's against any vaccine. I'm assuming.
I don't know.
Or is the anti-vax thing new?
Mr. Anti-Vax only as it refers to the COVID vaccine, as far as I know. Because he was using this is a shtick. He wrote it. But listen, I gotta commend this guy, bro. He's willing to die for his cause. Guess what killed Mr. Anti-Vax this past week, bro? COVID. So
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude.
Bro.
So I mean, dude was in his mid-60s. I'm sure he had a shit ton of comorbidities, but yeah, bro. Listen, I gotta respect this. Keep the same energy you had
to the end.
You believe in your cause so much, you don't give back. It ends up killing you. Like, you willing to go down for the cause. I gotta respect that, bro. That's leaving an imprint. Anybody who followed this guy, he's a martyr for the anti-vax movement, and because his radio show was popular, but he was popular in that he was known, I think, to not lean heavily like although he was a conservative host, he was like a reasonable guy where he could kind of defend both sides.
Yep.
But yeah, man, lately he had dubbed himself Mr. Anti-Vax, and he had been so outspoken against the vaccine. So to go from that and then getting killed by COVID, it's just, I'm like, bro, you about that life. Can't be mad at that, man. You were about that life.
And I wonder, his fans, or at least for the folks that listen to him, right? Are they thinking, holy shit, like, maybe he's wrong. Do I need to go get, like, how many of them are going to get the vaccine now?
Yeah, it's a good question, man. Like, yeah, either way, hey, you served your purpose, bro. You changed some lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, you led by example.
Yo, not for nothing, man. Like, my father went into the emergency room the other day, and man, like my mom, he's getting better and stuff, so that's all good. But There was one day, man, when mom couldn't even go to see him because the hospital is full. They called it like code black, where they just said there are no visitors.
Dude, you said he couldn't even get a bed for how long?
For a day.
Wow, man.
So he couldn't get a bed for approximately 24 hours. Couldn't get a bed because the hospitals are just inundated. And then that when they finally got a bed, they told her like, no, sorry, like you can call us whenever you want and we'll give you an update. But he's doing fine and here's what we're doing. But no one's allowed in right now.
Wow, man, that sucks, dude. Like I don't know what to do about that, man. About like I don't even have. Because, we've talked about this on here before. I'm of the belief, like, everybody, you do your own thing. But it's so unfortunate, man, that, like, someone like your dad can't go get treatment for potentially, at the time, you don't know what it is, right? It could be life-threatening, maybe not. But because these beds are all being taken up by unvaccinated people, man. I don't know. You hate that in this whole thing, there's going to be a right or wrong side, right? And either the ones that got vaxxed are on the wrong side of this, and they're all going to be, or the ones that didn't get vaxxed are on the wrong side of this. Like, time will tell. It just stinks, man, when you have, like, the unintended kind of victims or something like that, man. It's shitty, dude.
I always say, man, like, with that shit, like, follow the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, follow the money, man. Like, if it is in the interest of our government, whether you want to believe them or not, and I don't blame you either way, but, like, if they're gonna lose, like the economy collapsing is probably the absolute worst thing that could happen to a country, and so it is in their best interest to keep people working.
Yep. And I'm not sure we talked about this on here, but I vividly remember having conversations with people. So I'm vaccinated, right? And I remember talking to people who go like, man, like it didn't worry you, and they give me what their worry kind of is, and I go, I'm gonna sound like a nut, but stay with me. I believe in capitalism. They're like, and I'll get to like, what? And I go, listen, either the people who made this can't afford to lose the amount of money that they would lose if 120 million people joined a class action lawsuit, right? Like, or there's going to be a lot of money in the cure. Either way, I feel pretty good about my chances. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
I'm like, I believe in capitalism that hard. I was like, I believe in the almighty dollar that strongly that I go, do you trust the scientists? I trust money. Money is the ultimate motivator. It's the driver. It's yeah. So I trust that. But man, hope Shep recovers quickly, man.
Me too, man. Me too.
That and hopefully can get the care and the resources and stuff that he needs there, man. It would be shitty, for people who to fall victim to shit that could have been preventable, had they had like care in a like in a timely fashion or whatever.
Right.
Like so.
Well, did you see, keeping on with this subject, man, so like Delta and United have both made getting the vaccine since now that it's FDA approved. Mm-hmm. They're like, Delta actually, they didn't make it mandatory. They're making it mandatory for anybody that's new.
Okay.
But if you are an existing employee and you refuse to get it, I'm going to get this right, they're going to charge you $200 a month if you're not vaccinated.
Oh, I did see that.
And so they basically figured out
your health care premiums is what they're doing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Your health care premium is $200 a month more expensive.
Right.
If you aren't vaccinated.
If you're not vaccinated.
That makes sense.
So they were saying like the average stay, and I thought it was crazy, but I know the hospital costs are crazy.
Yeah.
40 to 50K per week. Oh, sorry. For the average, not per week. For the average hospital stay when you have the virus, it's about 40 to 50K.
Whew.
And so they're like, all right, so here you go. You don't want to be vaccinated? Cool. $200.
I actually agree with that, bro.
Yeah, I have no issue with that, bro.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. Because if I'm paying for your health care and you are now a greater liability, and it's just like any other insurance, right? Your car insurance, like the more you crash or the more speeding tickets you get, the more you pay. So the greater the risk you are from a risk standpoint, I think that's fair, man.
Yeah, and then they're also they're going to stop extending the pay protections to unvaccinated workers. And then United Airlines stepped in, and they're requiring the vaccine for all of their employees beginning on September 27th.
Oh, wow. So they got the next, 4 weeks to get
their
their
shit
together.
They're like, No $200. Like you will or you'll be gone.
You gone. Yeah. Wow, man. And listen, man, that's private entities' prerogative. I like the whole healthcare thing because that's what you do with smokers, right?
Yeah.
You make them pay a premium. That's
or even if you do, right? So certain companies have it to where you go and you basically get a physical every year.
Mm-hmm.
And then
if you don't,
they charge you. Yep.
I think that's fair, man. If I'm going to cover the cost of your healthcare, I think it's only right that I get to charge you more if you're a bigger risk. And if I say, hey, here are the preventative measures and you don't follow, it's like, cool, that's on you. But now that poses a potentially greater financial risk on my part, so I have to like charge you for that. I actually agree with that, man. As shitty as it is, when I saw the headline initially, I went, yeah, makes sense. Like,
yep.
I don't think you're gonna bully people into taking this. You can incentivize them though. You know, we talked about this here before. People were giving incentives or whatever, and this is gonna be one of those. Like, how many people are gonna be like, I probably can't afford the $200 extra a month, or I can, and that's more important to me.
Yeah,
which is fine too. Like if that's you're like, no, I'm so convicted in this. I'd rather pay the extra money, or I'd rather go somewhere and work with it.
Like you said, man, keep the same energy, right?
Keep the same energy, bro. Yeah. So I'm like,
somebody
go.
Somebody lose $200, they'd be like, well, nah,
bro. Because I'll be
I'm
for
going
real.
to get it.
I could have been. I wasn't like in a rush to get vaccinated, but I remember thinking like, eventually they're just gonna make it inconvenient, right? Like it's gonna make it to where if I want to travel, you gotta do this, or if I want to get into a concert or whatever, and I just went, I'm not willing to die on that hill, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get it. Like I believed in the capitalism so strongly that I was like, yeah, I'll go. I feel pretty good about my chances on that, but. Yeah, man, do what you want, people. And then I think we should keep the same energy when companies start doing what they want.
Yep.
Not so. Yeah.
And then I read 2 articles after that, bro, that I was like, what the fuck? So the first one, well, and I'm going to go into each article, but basically the first one says, 26 cases of COVID linked to 2 unvaccinated students. Didn't go into the article. I'm
That's
like, whatever,
headline,
right?
Yeah.
It's a headline grabber. Next article, 2 people die in Japan after taking Moderna vaccine. And I'm like, what are the 2 people? What are the 2 students that just gave 26 people COVID?
And then those 2 died.
So you go like, man, and I was just thinking
like, why
about.
Is that a headline?
Bro, I was just thinking about the media in general, bro. And I'm just going, man, can we all get, and I don't want to say on the same side, but can we all focus on the same thing, right? Like if we are, if we want everybody to be healthy, or if we're saying, no, like this vaccine is not safe because of these reasons, like, can we just all get all, I understand the opposing views, but this is like for humanity.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck, man.
But people just don't care, and no one cares. It's capitalism, right?
Capitalism, bro. Everybody cares about ratings. I forgot who I was talking to. They were basically saying that like news, and I believe this, news corporations, whether it's CNN or Fox or whatever, and like Facebook and stuff, they've done the research and the data that the further apart you drive people, the higher their ratings get on each respective platform, right? So this is why ratings skyrocket during election time, right? Because everyone's like, that's when it's almost like a pep rally of sorts, right? Where everyone's kind of hyped. You're constantly being reminded, whether it's because of the signs or the commercials or whatever. So like, and so they purposely create division amongst, people, whatever subject. And usually the politics is the easy one, right? Because we have this like toxic tribalism around politics. Like, so that they essentially do that because it drives up ratings. And so you're never going to get to a space, while there are countries that force news people to go like, no, you have to be kind of unbiased, and
right.
like we don't mandate that type of stuff. We kind of mandate the free speech. So
fuck man, but you just mentioned tribe, and it's just like, until we realize that we're actually all part of one tribe, right? Shit doesn't change. And then I was thinking like, we have organizations like the World Health Organization and the CDC that are in place, supposed to be sort of unbiased organizations, but it's like even those organizations, people question and they don't believe, and they believe there's ulterior motives. But like you said, that's true too, right?
There's people running those, right, who can be swayed, and then there's who have political agendas or professional agendas or personal agendas, and so there's like, it's so difficult now, man, to get. I find myself a lot listening to news from other countries, whether it's like the UK or like BBC or something like that, just to try to get an unbiased. Like, I'll watch a little bit of everything, and then I'll watch some that supposedly leans unbiased. and then try to kind of go like, okay, I think this is where
that kind of makes sense.
The middle ground is. Yeah, I can kind of see. But yeah, it's so hard, man. And then it's hard because like it's easy not to fall victim to that too, right? Not to get swayed and go like, fuck yeah, you know, like, and you get down this rabbit hole, like, 'cause I've done
especially
it, right?
especially if it's something that is solidifying what you already believe. Mm-hmm. You know, it's very easy for you to go like, yeah, see,
yeah, they affirmed mine.
Yeah, right.
It's like, it's strange, man. I don't know, man. But you know what, man? I'm super fucking grateful that we don't live in like China, because did you see what they're about to do with the video game thing?
I saw a headline about them like limiting the kids or some shit.
Yeah,
what is
dude.
it?
So in an effort to curb like I guess video game addiction, they're limiting the time. If you're under the age of 18, you're only allowed to play video games now from 8 to 9 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's it.
Wow. So if you're under 8, so if you're not an adult,
yes,
essentially,
then you have to. So you're
3
basically telling
hours a
people
week.
how to raise their kids.
Yeah. And what is the?
Because they're thinking there's a whole thing, and there's video game addiction is out of control.
Well, yeah,
and so I could see that.
Probably true.
Yeah, but dude, and we talk about this all the time, man. If our kids were outside playing ball, we wouldn't be like, "You're addicted to that basketball."
Nope.
And I understand that there's a different quality, and I don't know, all the research has been done about TV and yada yada and video games, blah blah. But again, like, we only deem things to be an addiction when we think it's a problem.
Right.
Right, like if you were like the difference between someone who's addicted to gambling and a professional gambler is the win streak. like, like if you think about it,
right.
like that's what
kind of house you living in?
Yeah. Oh, you're a gambling addict.
Yeah.
But it's odd, man. Like, cause we kind of like we're pretty liberal about how we apply the
true,
labels,
bro.
man. Yeah, like how do you distinguish a professional poker player between someone who's just an addict?
He's on TV.
He's on TV, bro, and he's doing all right. You're like, I don't know, man. That shit got him on TV. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sure there's a fine line somewhere for sure, and certain things are addictions. But
no, bro. But like, so is it still looked at it that way when our kids are raising their kids? Because our kids are growing up with like the YouTubers, the gamers, right? The social media, the whatever, right? The successful folks on social media. Those are the athletes of our day.
Yeah.
Of their day, right? Those are the athletes. Those people that they look up to. I've heard my kids and their cousins say, "I want to be a YouTuber," and it's like, what's that?
Yeah,
right, but that is I want to be like Booga, which is a professional Fortnite player, right? The guy makes millions.
Yeah,
is he an addict?
He
goddamn right he is.
Goddamn right, but his addiction leads to positive outcomes for himself, right?
So, what's the positive outcome? It's money.
It's money.
It's money and fame.
Yeah, because there's people who are addicted to work, right? We go, oh, that's a workaholic.
Right.
We don't have a negative connotation. Maybe this generation does. But when we were growing up, it was like you took pride. Like, I did a 20-hour week, or 20-hour day or whatever. And people are like, okay, now you say that and people look at you like you're stupid, as they should. Like,
yeah, why'd you do that?
But like, yeah, it's just so odd to me, man. I mean, part of this conversation is just communism in general and how you can control your people like that, right? Like, as much like you hear people now going, we're one step away from communism because our government wants to force people to do this. It's like, no. Go look at this shit. Like, this is the shit that blows my mind, that I'm just like, wow, can you imagine living like that? I guess if you don't know any better.
But I guess, communism is supposed to be sort of the good of all, right? It's supposed to be like, the doctor makes as much money as
except the people that are not, right? Yeah. We're all equal except the people that are not.
The doctor makes what the janitor makes.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, it was the last like genius thing that came out of a communist country.
I don't know, man. China got a few things going on. TikTok.
All right, touche. TikTok is pretty big. Oppress some people when we come up with a good social app. That's a fair point.
But even China has gotten into sort of more like free markets.
Yeah, they are, but like it's so funny, man.
But it's controlled.
China has figured out that, like, at some point in time, China figured out, listen, I don't want to go on an arms race with the U.S. or whoever else, and they're probably at the point now where they I'm sure they could, match us. blow for blow, or like a military prowess on a physical standpoint. But they figured out if we control the dollar, we control everything. So China controls all the major ports in the world. They've started buying land and islands and all the, like, I think they own the Panama Canal. I think they like China, and they invest heavily in those places because it gives them obviously leverage and power. Dude, even our movies, look at Hollywood. You notice now all the Chinese symbols and you notice that everybody's throwing in like a Chinese actor in there because they're trying to cater to that crowd. You saw the shit with John Cena a couple of months ago.
Yeah, what did he apologize? What did he say?
Because he referenced Taiwan as a country, and that
that's what it was. That's just ignorance.
Dude,
but who gives a shit,
bro? And he's apologizing, and then
let me tell you something,
Mandarin.
Man.
I was like, what the?
Let me
fuck?
tell you something.
Or Cantonese, whatever the fuck he was.
When I was growing up, I thought it was a country too because everything that I own, all the toys said "Made in Taiwan."
No, shit now that says "Made in Taiwan." Honestly, bro, I feel like that was like, I'm sorry, that's how we refer to them in America. That should have been the apology, bro. Like,
but no,
because they control
of the
the
right.
dollar, bro. It's like someone like John Cena is like, oh fuck, I got more movies coming out. I need the Chinese market. They're the bulk of it because they're just sheer numbers, right? They have too many people, so they're gonna control the world economy at some point or another. There's no getting away from that. Like, the more we become reliant on them, they're fucked. We get everything from them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be fucked, and they're gonna do it literally on they played the long game, and they just started making us reliant on them from a monetary perspective. That's why now when they're doing all kinds of crazy shit and they got concentration camps, we're like, yeah, we'll know nothing about that over here. But you see these people in Afghanistan, like, never mind, we're gonna pull out of that too.
And didn't they just recently trying to let their folks have more than one kid? They bumped it up to two, I think.
They bumped it up to two, and then there was something else. It was like, God, I can't remember. There was another weird thing with the kids. Oh, you know what it was? It's because the population is decreasing.
Right.
So they bumped it up to 2 kids. Yeah.
But they have over 1 billion people.
Yeah, it's not enough.
I think they. But I would imagine that. The if you think that the future economy obviously is dependent on number of people, and you're trying to grow the economy, and you see a decline in births, then that's what you're worried about,
That's
right?
happening everywhere though. Like here.
Yeah, here too.
Here
Yep.
is massive decline. Dude, I think here also the first time in a long time where life expectancy dropped in the last year. So the life expectancy dropped.
Really?
Yeah. The population is on a decline.
Mm-hmm.
The outlook for population is on a decline. Because this new generation is like, kids, fuck that. Like, I can't even afford to like take care of myself, let alone, whatever, take care of another human. Or they just realize like, I'll have them later in life or whatever it is. So it's not like before where you had, the stay-at-home mom or families chose to have like 6 kids because now it's like you get 1, maybe 2, and people are like, all right, cool, I'm good with that. And then they just, I don't know, man. It's a weird time. But I saw that shit and I'm just like, wow, man, what distinguishes an addiction from success from a success? And it's like, it's the dollar, man.
It's the dollar.
It's the win streak, man. This shit is
that's great.
wild, man.
Yo, speaking of win streaks, Jake Paul.
Oh,
4-0.
Let's get into that, boy.
4-0.
4-0, and he's gonna retire at 4-0, right? You seen that?
Yeah, well, I did. Yeah, but okay. So did you? I don't know if you saw. So I did. I got the thing. I paid for it. People, I did not steal it on the internet. First of all, the fight card was good, and it was filled with people that I didn't know. Okay. So, 2 of the folks that had really amazing fights was Montana Love. Okay. A guy from Cleveland. So Jake Paul is also from Cleveland, and he lives in Puerto Rico now. I don't know if it's full-time or part-time.
Yeah, him and Logan live. It's a tax thing. Yeah, they live in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
So
6 months.
Oh, perfect. so they live there, and so he used this opportunity to showcase. So he did it in Cleveland. He did it in the what's
where the Cavs play?
Yeah, cool. Is it Rocket Mortgage?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Quicken Loans Arena.
I think Quicken Loans is in Detroit.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
I think it's like Rocket Mortgage.
Right. It is quick. Yeah.
But anyway, so he does it there. He showcases Montana Love, who is from Cleveland.
Oh, cool.
He showcases what is her name? Amanda Serrano.
That's a Puerto Rican chick.
Yes. Yeah. Dude, she is. I've never seen her fight before, bro. She's 41-1-1.
Oh, damn.
With 30 KOs.
Oh, that's impressive.
Dude, she's won. So she has a record. She's won. She's the only woman to win titles in 7 weight classes. Dude, so she's and dude, like technically, so like, and I bought this thing, obviously for the Jake Paul Woodley. I definitely wanted to see the fight, but I'm not expecting much from that fight. So they started out the card with Tyson Fury's brother. I think his name is Tommy.
I heard about that. Yeah.
But he was fighting like an MMA guy who was the first time boxing. It went the distance, which I think was only like 4 rounds. He ended up winning, so that one was kind of boring. But then the next one was a Montana Love one. He fought shit, man. Look it up. He fought this Russian cat.
He knocked him out, right?
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't. He knocked him down.
Get dropped.
No, he knocked him down.
Ivan Baranchyk.
Yep. Baranchyk. So, which that dude came out and he's a strong cat. He was swinging for the fences.
Oh, he dropped him. That's what it was. He dropped him once. I remember the knockout. It looked like it was over when I saw the highlight of it.
No,
the dude got up.
The dude got up. He got up. He went back to the corner, and Ivan's previous fight, and I can't remember who he fought, but was a classic where they had like 5 knockdowns between the two of them against each other. But anyway, this guy gets knocked down. And essentially doesn't come out of his corner because the bell rings, saved by the bell. He goes to the corner. The corner's like, enough. It's enough. Seriously, but really entertaining fights if you get a chance to see it. And then Amanda Serrano comes on, fights this girl that's a Mexican. And you know the Mexican, man, they be taking that hot sauce.
And never say die, bro.
And bro, this Amanda was working the body hard, man, hitting her with hard shots. She would not go down, but Amanda dominated the fight. Ended up winning that fight and then the Jake Paul fight. So that, which wasn't great, but I wasn't expecting great.
Bro, I think the most impressive thing you just said is that you watched 10 rounds of women's boxing.
It did go the distance.
I was trying to figure this out. I'm like, wow, that's commitment, bro.
You don't watch like Clarissa Shields? She's entertaining.
I'm not
bro.
going out of my way. I do like the MMA, like the UFC girl. Yeah, absolutely, I do go out of my way to watch out. We've ordered pay-per-views where it's Amanda Nunes and stuff like that. Yep. I don't think there's no one in boxing on the women's side yet that's grabbed my attention that I'm like, because normally when you get a dominant person like a Clarissa Shields, it's like it's not even fair, bro. Like it's so she overpowers them so much. Where you're just like.
No, but this girl is something. If you see her come up, Amanda Serrano, she's from Brooklyn, but she's Puerto Rican. Jake Paul was saying that he was training with her like in Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was like, yo, to see this girl train and how she moves and her skill set was incredible.
Dude, I was bummed out. I missed the card, man. I want to see it, and I know there was a lot of knock on it online because people are gonna hate, man. Bro. And I saw this on a lot of podcasts and a lot of sports shows this week. Jake Paul's the biggest draw in boxing right now. Has to be.
That's fucked up. You're probably right.
I think he is, bro. Dude, think about it. You're a great example of this. Have your kids ever wanted to watch a boxing pay-per-view?
Never. And it was hard. It was a hard time keeping them awake because they get up really early to go to school. It was really hard to keep them awake to see that fight. To
see the Jake. And it wouldn't have mattered who Jake was fighting. Like, I know people were like, oh, the Woodley. And they did do a good job of building up this fight at the end. The last 2 or 3 days, they went all out and built up some, like, some clout and had the arguments at the weigh-in and yada, yada. I'm like, okay, I think that was a good way to sell the fight. I don't think it mattered who Jake's fighting, dude. Jake is a draw to this generation all on his own. Yeah. And he commands pay-per-view buys, man. Like, I saw this everywhere, and there's so many people hating on him, and like people on Twitter who were like the night of the fight, I was trying to keep up with the result to see what was going on, like through Twitter, and I remember and people were just talking so much shit, and it's so funny because all of them were like, well, Jake's dominating this fight, but it's so boring, this is an embarrassment for boxing, and this and that, and I was just like, yeah, this kid's the biggest draw in boxing right now, because if not him, then who? And I know people kept pointing out Canelo. What was the last Canelo pay-per-view you watched?
That's a good question.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was the point. Like
Triple G.
Yeah, Triple G. So Canelo is not a draw by himself. Where Floyd was, dude. We watched every Floyd fight. We knew he was going to dominate, right? And we watched Manny Pacquiao, right? I ordered Manny Pacquiao fully expecting him to beat this guy, probably because I didn't really like do the homework on the guy he was fighting or hadn't really considered it. But the guy's a nobody. Right, in terms of box office draw, right? I understand that the guy he fought is a welterweight champ, whatever, but
he's good.
Manny Pacquiao's a pay-per-view draw. I'm ordering it because of Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, I presume, is going to retire or maybe does one more fight with either Terrence Crawford and or the Spence fight, and then just walks off to the sunset. No one's left in boxing that's that big, dude. Canelo can do it by what appears to be his moving up in weight to light heavy now, and maybe if he gets.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I don't know anyone, and who's in light heavy?
None. I don't know anybody, dude. So unless Canelo went up to heavyweights and he's fighting Anthony Joshua or Wilder or Fury, which I think he's too small. I don't think he could ever. He could never make that. Even if he made the weight, his power and the speed and all that wouldn't translate. He just wouldn't work out. But there's no one else in that division that's a draw like him. Like Triple G, if he fought Triple G, okay, I'd order that again. But other than that, there isn't a single fight out there for Canelo unless he goes down in weight.
Down in weight, he has
to go down.
Yep.
And even then, he has to go down and he has to fight like Errol Spence. And that's like the one where you go, okay, that'll sell.
Terrence Crawford.
Or Terrence Crawford. But, dude, I'm like, Jake Paul's the biggest draw in boxing. Like, and people are like livid in their fight. But I'm like, it's fucking true, dude. Like, because Jake Paul is selling to casuals. He's selling to the YouTube crowd who has zero interest in boxing. He's selling to boxing fans because they want to see him get dropped.
Yep.
He's the biggest draw in boxing. Like, the fact that he said he's going to retire and stuff, I wonder if it's a play for more money. Or if he went, I went the distance for the first time. That shit's fucking hard. And, like, when you're not dropping dudes with one punch, this shit's, like, difficult. You know what I mean? I wonder if you lose the romanticism you have, right?
Nah, maybe. I mean, all of his fights have ended in the first 2 rounds,
First 2 rounds, yeah. He's knocking everybody out.
So this one, he went 8 rounds, and Woodley hit him with a few hard shots, bro, that wobbled him. One of them sent him into, like, sort of under the top rope, and the ropes was what held him up. And so, but they didn't rule it a knockdown. He still would have won the fight because he was just a busier guy.
So far
if Tyron Woodley would have just been busier, he would have won.
He would have won. And I thought he was gonna starch Tyron Woodley, dude. I thought it was gonna be done in 1 or 2.
Dude, he hit him.
I gotta give Woodley credit.
He hit him with some shots that I was like, ooh, that was hard, and they didn't phase
I did see the
Woodley
wobble
at all.
I did see the one wobble where he
from
hit
Woodley.
Yeah. Go back.
I must have missed that.
I'll find it. It was on Twitter that night. He hit him over the head, and Woodley kind of does the buckle and holds onto him in the corner, and then goes back. But it's a really quick, like, hits him and Woodley grabs him real quick. So this is the one buckle. But I wonder if even, like, to your point where he took those shots where he goes, ooh, I can't take too many of those. Like, I made a lot of money doing this. Like, I'm
right. Yeah, this is not fun anymore.
Good. Yeah, I'm not doing it on Tyron Woodley because I think if Conor McGregor came out and said, "Yeah, I'll do it," I think you absolutely come out for that. I'll go get starched by Conor McGregor for 1 round, for 50
you won't,
mil or whatever. And you're not.
He'll knock out Conor.
He'll knock out Conor McGregor, bro.
Yeah.
He's so much bigger than Conor McGregor. He's gonna wax Conor McGregor, bro. Yeah. Like, I honestly think. I mean, it looked like, and Woodley probably learned enough from this that Woodley would win a rematch, I guess, if they did it. I don't think he gives Woodley the rematch.
I don't think so either.
I think he said the tattoo shit thinking fully that Woodley was going to back out.
I was going to say, did you see that?
I did see the shit. Yeah,
that was dope.
I guess filling people.
Yeah, so you didn't see it. After the fight, he sort of mentions, like, you know what? I've been doing nothing but this boxing thing for like 18 months. I'm going to give it a break, right? And then Woodley goes, no, man, like, let's run this shit back. Basically, I won this fight. So they gave it to you, so let's run it back. And then he goes, get the tattoo on your body that says, I love Jake Paul, and we'll run it back. And he shook on it in the ring. And they was like, bro, don't go nowhere. We got the tattoo artist here.
Dude, and if you're Woodley, like, fuck it, I'll get that shit changed. I gotta get a tattoo to go make. I don't know what was Woodley's purse for this, man?
They
largest payday if it's correct.
For him, right? I would imagine so.
Yeah,
and what a shame, right? Because that guy's a Hall of Famer in the MMA,
dude. He's a Hall of Famer, dude. First ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest welterweights of all time, and Woodley and Paul both earning $2 million for the fight. That is gonna be. I don't know how much Woodley made per fight, but that is, I guarantee you, that's well above. One of the things I did see, man, that I thought was great, that Jake Paul wanted was. And I guess he didn't want this to be public, but he really wanted to get the people paid on the undercards.
Oh, really?
Like, whatever the money was. They didn't get paid a lot, but like Amanda Serrano made $75K. That's probably a lot for a women's boxing match.
Is it really?
Yeah,
man?
dude. Because, dude, I didn't know, but I was listening to a podcast this week with Brendan Schaub. Dude, Brendan Schaub said the most he ever made from a fight was like 15 grand or 30 or something like that. Brendan Schaub was like top 10 fighter in UFC. So $75K is a lot. Daniel Dubois made $100K.
Oh, that was the other fight. So he's a heavyweight guy. So he had a fight. I remember who he fought, but that fight was entertaining as well.
Joe Cosumano, who made 111. Montana Love got 60K. The other dude got 60K. Tommy Fury got 15K, and Anthony Taylor got 40K to lose to him. Dude, but Woodley and Jake each got $2 million. And I'm sure Jake gets gets box office. But I guarantee you, for Woodley, man, I'm gonna see Woodley's largest. Let's see Woodley's largest purse. I bet you that's it. Has to be.
No, that's definitely it, bro. He's not making $2 million.
Bro, the UFC is notorious for not paying people. So, dude, it's. I bet you. Oh, actually, look, this would tie. If he got, I think it said if he got 500K, it would tie. So he was guaranteed 500K at some point. Okay, Woodley's expected to bank a minimum of 500K. That would tie Woodley's highest earning base salary while in the UFC. So the most he ever made base in UFC was 500K. So then, and I know UFC does if you get fight of the night, you get a bonus. So sometimes you could double that, or knockout of the night, or whatever, right?
Still,
with incentives. Man. Still talking about a guy who's, like you said, a Hall of Famer, first ballot, one of the greatest welterweights of all time in the UFC. $500,000. He goes to boxing, trains for a month, gets $2 million because he's fighting Jake Paul. I mean, that's what Jake Paul did. That was the Jake Paul effect. And I'm sure Jake Paul gets back-end purse on this, so he's probably going to end up making like 10. Dude,
like you said, out of the entire card, unfortunately for boxing, he's the draw.
He's the biggest draw in boxing right now, bro. Biggest draw in boxing. And he could fight anybody. It's nuts. He can't fight a real boxer because he's going to get smoked.
Of course.
But he can keep doing this for a long time. Keep picking celebrities, bro. Build up the hype, and the YouTube crowd's gonna watch, bro.
Or do you go, I'll fight a real boxer, but he needs to be like 4 weight classes below me.
Yeah, like Floyd. Like Floyd.
That's like a welterweight.
Floyd wouldn't take
like
that
like a welterweight. Like a welterweight boxing welterweight.
Boxing welterweight. Would you take Canelo if you're him?
I think Canelo would smoke him. Yeah, no. Canelo will come out. And he'll be weighing 190.
Oh yeah, he'll come in just all burritoed up, just all the Mexican steak with the special Mexican sauce and those things. Boy, he's gonna. Yeah, but yeah, you don't fight a real fighter because you get hurt, and yeah. So you know what, man, I gotta give that kid credit, bro. He's definitely leaving his mark behind, man. Because like you're a kid from Cleveland, Ohio, and you and your brother have managed to build this ridiculous following, building content. You know, Jake's known as a troll, but I go, the kid's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. He's a troll, and he used it to his advantage, man.
Dude, it's all about attention, bro.
Kid, man. It is, bro. It's that's the currency of today, right? The clout is unfortunately the attention it leads to the real currency, but that's the currency. And dude, he took advantage of it, man. Like you can't be mad. Like he did 4 fights that probably set him up forever.
Yeah, like you said, he could stop fighting forever, and he's fine.
And he's fine, and he's going to keep making YouTube videos, and he's probably going to keep making, $1 million a month or $2 million a month or whatever, just making YouTube videos. Like, you can't be mad at this kid, man. Like, I like the fact that I watched a lot of the post-fight stuff, and the kid was so humble. He, showing him tweets from, LeBron, and he's, freaking out and crying, and he's just like, bro.
Oh, I missed that. That's
dude,
dope.
he's like, LeBron, said something about him, Cleveland, stand up kind of thing, whatever, and he goes like, bro, I used to come to this arena to watch LeBron. This is nuts that this dude's even mentioning me.
Right.
He showed humility, I think, in that moment. He wasn't like, yo, fuck you, LeBron. He was like, yo, LeBron hit me up. We're both from here. I would love to do something. I saw a video of them backstage with Chappelle, and even Dave Chappelle, bro.
That's right, he was there.
From Ohio. He's there. He goes I want free tickets to your fights forever or some shit like that. It's Dave Chappelle, bro, one of the greatest comedians of all time. Is like that has to feel so cool if you're this kid. And I think he, as much as he talks shit and he likes to troll people, you saw the humility in those moments where I went, he understands the game. He understands yo, I gotta talk shit. I gotta sell this. I gotta whatever. But he wasn't above being like, wow, this is nuts.
Yeah, being in the moment, bro.
Being in the moment, dude. I even saw Logan. It was cool, man. I follow Logan on IG and Twitter stuff, and I even saw Logan posting whether it's pictures or videos and stuff ringside and stuff after the fact, and you're just just to see him and the way he reacts about his brother, you're like, that's so fucking cool, bro. How can you not like that, dude? It's so hard. Yeah,
he was he was doing, so they had 2 sets of announcers. One of them was from Barstool Sports.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there was the other guys who was sort of the Showtime guys, and he was on with the Showtime guys. And just before Jake was gonna come in, he was like, "All right, guys, I gotta go," and they're like, "Oh, you gotta go?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going. I gotta walk with him in. Like I'm gonna
That's
walk."
cool,
you know?
bro. Like that's.
And so it was awesome, man. It's just like I said, to see, and both of those guys when they talk, other than when it's sort of trash talking to hype the fight, you can tell, man. Like they're really enjoying the moment.
Oh, absolutely, bro, man. So shout out to those guys, man. That was cool. I thought that shit was awesome, man. Yeah, you seen? Speaking of like televised sports, you seen that high school team that?
I saw a headline,
story,
but I didn't see.
Man. This is a IMG Academy, which is from Florida. I mean, if you ever,
Oh, they are from Florida.
So IMG Academy is from Florida. IMG Academy is it's a sports school. It's a prep school. You only go to IMG because you're good at football or basketball, where they're great at fucking everything. And a lot of these kids go from there to Division I programs across football.
So this is a private school.
Yes. And then they faced a team from, I think it's Ohio. Yeah, it's an Ohio
I think it
high
was
school.
Ohio.
Yeah, named something Sycamore. Or Bishop Sycamore High School. Bro, IMG Academy won 58-0. This shit got so bad that during the game,
did you watch it?
Here, no. But I saw clips because they're playing clips of announcers. Like announcers are literally showing their concern for the safety of the other kids. This is how bad it was.
Damn.
The announcers are literally like, someone should step into this, like almost like a mercy rule type thing. Like, how do you throw in a towel or a TKO rule or something? Like they're like, I'm worried about these kids, like multiple times. So like that shit was going viral. Then afterwards, like all these announcers going, man, these kids are getting smoked. Like this is bad. They're running these kids over. They're tackling them. It looks like they're dead. Like. Dude, come to find out, Bishop Sycamore isn't a real school. Bishop Sycamore, bro.
It's not a real school,
bro. It's basically like an online made-up school. If you Google it, it shows you like a fucking plaza with an office, like on Google Earth.
Like
bro, they do like this whole online
like
program.
Joe's Fish Factory.
Dude, yeah, that's basically what it is. And the way they do these games.
Or the fucking churches that be in the little strip malls.
Yep.
It's like the
little, like Salón de Libertad, whatever the fuck, in the little Spanish church.
They got like 12 patrons that go in that bitch.
Oh shit, bro. Dude, it's so like I saw this, I'm like, this is a fucking movie, bro. Like it's an online school.
Okay.
They faked everything on and listen, shame on the company that vets these. So I guess there's this like third party company that vets these teams and then brings them in like, hey, ESPN, this is who you should showcase on ESPN. And normally it goes
how
by
they
like,
even get to play.
Bro, they
get on the schedule.
They lied about how many Division I recruits they had. I guess they just set a number and people were like, all right, cool. Nobody bothered to verify.
Right.
They did the same thing last year and nobody caught on to it, bro. They did the same thing last year and they're like, oh, we were on last year. And I guess they done okay, or maybe they got smoked by a good school. So it was like, oh, it was a good school. We got X amount of number one recruits. Bro, not only this, it gets fucking better, bro. They played Saturday or Sunday, I think, on ESPN. I think it might have been Sunday. They had a game Friday night against a normal local high school.
No.
Yeah, bro. So they played 2 games in a span of 3 days. One against arguably the best school or one of the top 5 schools
in the country.
And all because they just made up, like, lied on the application, basically. And no one did their homework to bother to go and fucking, like, yo, does anybody look? Have you seen the school play any video? Nothing, bro. And it was, like, basically putting up an NFL team against, like, a Pop Warner, like, high school. Bro, I
kind of want to see the game, man.
It was bad, bro. I didn't see the game, honestly, but I saw the highlights they were showing, and when the announcers are literally the announcers are concerned for the safety of the kids on the team that's getting smoked.
So the guys are just getting blasted,
bro. 58-0, bro. And it was like they couldn't even move the ball. Shit was crazy, bro. It was like it was abusive. I wanted to call the police just on the highlights. But the fact that you're able to scam this, they fired the coach today.
Oh, they did?
I like how you fired a coach from a fake school.
I was going to say, man, he brought your school notoriety.
Yeah,
man.
What are you upset about? I would think that the only thing that you could possibly ding them on is the letting these kids play twice in 3 days.
Right.
There's a reason why football's weekly. So I guess you could go, hey, you put our kids' safety in jeopardy. But the fact that you're on ESPN and you lied your way under there, that shit is kind of dope. like you should give that guy a raise. Like you said, there's going to be notoriety, and if your school is contingent or the success of the school is contingent on enrollment, Fuck it. Who didn't know the school existed? Who now knows the school exists?
It's like playing football for DeVry.
You got the programming majors. Your quarterback is like cybersecurity expert. Looking from DeVry, bro. Oh, dude, that shit was so crazy. I watched that. I was like, yo, this is wild. You can't. It's a movie. It's a movie. I don't even know how to explain.
I gotta tell you some other wild shit, man. So this 43-year-old dude sued his parents, but this is great.
Oh boy.
He sued his parents. He won. For getting rid of his porn collection.
Was it DVD, VHS? I feel like that adds context to it.
Well, I don't know. It was 30 G's worth.
30,000. What the?
So the story is
magazines and movies.
Magazines, movies, but don't know.
Toys.
It has to be other things. It has to be like a expensive blow up doll in there or something. What are those like real? Those
fleshlights?
Yeah. What are they called?
The fleshlight, bro. You ever seen the fleshlight? It's like jerk off. It's it looks like a flashlight, oddly enough, and you cover your penis with it, and it looks like a fake vagina, and you use it to jack off.
Yeah.
It's called a fleshlight. Yeah, look it up. Don't do it on a work computer.
I'm afraid.
Don't do it on a work computer. Do it on your phone. But it's flesh.
No, man, it'll follow me forever.
It'll follow you forever, bro. Next thing you know, your fucking Alexa's gonna be asking you what.
Yep. Or they'll be fucking looking up the AI technology to see my face, and then that shit'll just come up. The flashlight will come up. They'll be like, "Ooh, that's not facial recognition."
Bro, I don't know why, but that shit reminded me. One time I kept getting emails to like get a dildo made out of my penis mold.
What?
I don't know why, bro, but I must have Googled some shit like this. Or my wife Googled some shit, because my wife fucks with my computer all the time. On my work computer, she'll Google nasty shit just to like, so that it shows up when I least expect it kind of thing. And yeah, there was a time there where I would get emails and it would be like, get a mold, a dildo mold made out of your real penis. And it would send you a kit.
Yeah.
That's what the advertisement was for, to order the kit. And I was like, I should do that shit as a joke to somebody. Give it as a gift.
As an anniversary present.
Hey, man, you know why I feel so good, right?
You're like, damn it. I just missed my anniversary, too.
Follow up Christmas. I got you.
So, no, man. So, this dude got a divorce from his wife. No shit. He got a divorce from his wife, moves in with his parents in Michigan.
I thought it was a teen, bro.
No, the dude's 43. It makes it better. So he moves in with his parents for a little while till he kind of like gets some money, and then he moves out. But when he moves out, he gets to his new place. He realizes, oh shit, my stuff is missing. So he hits up his parents. His father sends him an email, and I quote, he goes, "We did you a big favor getting rid of all this stuff." So the dad basically admits to getting rid of it. This guy hires a friggin' attorney, sues his parents. The judge made him pay over $30,441.
Oh, they ruled in his favor.
Oh yeah, he freaking won, bro. And the parents also had to pay his attorneys $14,500, bro.
Holy shit! For
porn, bro.
Wow, bro. I guess, listen, going back to what we were talking about before, what makes this an addiction versus he's just an expert at porn.
He does research.
Maybe he's making money off this. I guess that's what will distinguish the difference between.
When I'm reading the article, they were just like, and then they go, when the guy got a divorce, I was like, well, yeah, if you got 30 G's worth of porn, man, that's probably not gonna go over too well in your house.
Holy shit. I'm gonna have to look into this, bro. When I was a child, a teen, my mom threw away all my Game Pros, and I was livid. Game Pro was this gaming magazine back in the day.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and for
yeah.
years I subscribed to this shit, and I carried them from Jersey to here, and I had every single year for like 6-7 years straight, bro, of Game Informers. And I thought these things are gonna be worth something one day for sure. And I kept them in like immaculate condition.
Oh, that's
I was
dope.
at home one day. My mom cleaned out my room. She tossed
all of them.
my Game Pros, bro. Probably a porn or two in there too, but still, it was about the Game Pro. Give me the name of that lawyer. I want my Game Pros back.
I got one up on you, man. My mother Every time I think about it, it makes me cry.
You want to skip? You good?
When I went to the Marine Corps, well, she did it while I was gone. I go to the Marine Corps. She donates all my vinyl to the church so they could sell it.
And I'm imagining you don't have vinyl that's church appropriate.
No, you know what, man? I had a bunch of like freestyle music, and I had some like 80s rock music, and like nothing crazy. A couple hip hop joints in there, man. But still, just like things that I would have loved to have. Like after the fact. Yeah, so when I came home one time, and never even told me either, bro. It's just, I came home one time and I was like, where's the stash of records? Like, I see your stuff in here. Where's mine? She's like, oh yeah, I donated to the church. They needed money. So they were gonna do like they were asking for donations.
Yard sale.
So they could do like a yard sale. So all my shit from the years, bro, got sold to somebody probably for like.
Maybe we can get a little 2-for-1 offer from this lawyer guy to see if he'll hook it up on the fee. I'm with you. I want my game pros. We want our vinyl. We coming for everything. Coming for the whole 9. Oh shit, bro, that's so crazy, dude. Are you paying attention at all to this Drake Kanye thing?
No, I know Kanye got a new album out, right?
Yeah, have you heard it?
No.
I don't know, man. I'm like 3-4 songs in. I could probably do without
listening
to the rest of it.
Donda?
And the first song just goes Donda, 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 Donda,
No.
Donda, Donda, Donda.
It's genius.
That's the intro, yeah. And then people are like, "Oh my God, Kanye!"
That's like Versace.
Is anybody falling off talent-wise harder than Kanye? Jesus Christ, bro! Like,
yeah, I haven't heard it, man. I gotta listen to it. I'll report back.
I gotta give the rest of it a chance, I guess. But yeah, I'm 4 songs in, and I'm kind of like, The production in it is great, as you would expect from a Kanye thing.
Yep.
Lyrically, it's trash. The features so far are okay. Like the people.
Who's on it?
Too. I've heard Jay on it so far. Cuddy's on it. The Weeknd's on it. I think he's got Travis Scott on it. He's got like a lot of people on it. I think Pusha's on it. There's the Baby, if his track makes it on, but there was a whole controversy with him and Universal because they think he didn't release, or they released it without his permission. I don't even know if that's true, but yeah, dude. So him and then Drake's coming out this week.
Oh, okay.
I think Drake's gonna murder as far as first week sales and yada yada and actual like Drake's shit's gonna slap. You know it. Like Drake's gonna.
Yeah, it'll be good,
bro. And it got Drake. Last 10 years, argue greatest run in hip hop. He's number 1 in hip hop last 10 years. If you're gonna go this era, right? I guess you got to call it his era. He's the greatest rapper of his era. Has to be.
If you're going by sales, yeah.
Yeah, I think if
you have to go by sales.
Yeah, you
right?
have to go by sales, but I think you just have to go on pure like, just who dropped an album in the last decade that you were like that shit's gonna slap, like no matter what. And Drake, bro.
Rick Ross.
I guess.
Let's go, Rose.
I guess Ross is in Drake's era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So you figure it's Ross, it's J. Cole, it's Kendrick, right? I think Kanye's in the era before. I would put Kanye in the era before. I would put Jay like 2 eras before. But I like in Drake's like graduating class, if you will, of hip hop artists, bro. He's got to be the greatest rapper of his generation, dude. And yeah, I bet you this album ends up. And the thing with him is like he's not getting worse. Like, yeah, I've never seen anything like.
You know what's funny, man, is that so my kids. So we'll say Gen Z. They know who Drake is, but not big fan. Not big fans.
Because for them, it's like, who? The Baby, Lil Baby.
Yeah, guys like that.
Guys like that. Yeah, all the mumble rappers, like all the. Well, actually, the Baby doesn't mumble rap.
He doesn't.
Actually, you can actually understand what he says, but like it's the trap. I guess the new era is kind of the trap rap, and then like, yeah, like I could see that. Drake
yeah, guys like Polo G, Blueface.
Oh yeah, Trippie Redd.
Yeah, that's what I said. Those are all the guys that I hear them talking
Mask,
about.
The Slump Dog or whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, I could see that. And
it's funny because on the radio, right? Like if Drake ever drops anything new, that's always on the radio. And the guys they listen to are not on the radio, but they're not radio guys.
SoundCloud rappers, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not radio guys, man. So
and then who listens to radio anymore?
Exactly. They do because it's forcing them on the drive to school.
Oh yeah, true.
But that's it.
Like morning radio or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, like my kids, like my daughter has a bunch of songs that she's like knows about. I'm like, where the hell did you hear that? And it'll just be like whatever through YouTube or the SoundCloud rappers are like the thing right now. Although man, it's so dope. My daughter's into like the rock right now. She
Oh,
likes
really?
like the
Like who?
alternative rock, and so
Okay.
I put her on to Linkin Park, and she was like, "Whoa!" She's like, "Listen to." So I was that was a
Linkin
proud
Park is
dad
so
moment.
good,
Oh
bro.
my god, bro! Even I forget like how much I was my favorite band of all time, and I'm playing her like all the Linkin Park jams, and she's like, "Yo, this is awesome. Who are these guys?" And she's like downloading tracks, and then I put her on to Paramore.
Oh
For all
yeah,
people too,
yeah.
because I'm like, oh, you'd like the lead singer and yada yada yada, and now she's like all in on that. She's like, I put my friend on to Paramore, but it's like cool to see the hey, you know, makes you feel old.
They're
but
still
also,
doing stuff, right?
They are, but you know, they're like, 10 plus years in the game. I think Paramore is like
More, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like,
You
like
figure they're not like this generation's right. Like this generation is listening to Olivia Rodrigo and
No, you figure they were kind of coming out like sort of like coming out party what 08, 09?
yeah. So a little more than 10 years, man. So those guys were but yeah, and Linkin Park isn't. They're 20 years, 21
Yeah,
years,
no,
right?
that was like late 90s.
Yeah, dude, late 90s, early 2000s.
2000s.
So they're like, yeah. So, I put on some of that 'cause she would have never heard it. And it's cool because, like, you forget how many of their songs are just super popular because of movies or whatever, that they're like, oh, that's the Transformers song. Or,
Oh, that's right.
So she recognized some of those, but it was kind of cool to see her, like, this is awesome. Who was that? And then now she's like added them to her Spotify playlist and stuff, But I was like, damn, it made me feel kind of old. That she's going like, who are these guys?
Lincoln who?
Lincoln who? Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god, what? And then come the questions like, Dad, did you know that guy's dead? And I'm like, yeah, I did know that guy. Yeah, because of course they
That's
go
such a
down the
sad
online
story
rabbit
too,
hole,
man.
man. Yeah, dude, I was like, ugh. I was heartbroken about that one, man.
Yeah, and then I remember talking to my kids about that, and just going, yo, man, you guys see people like him that are sort of rich and famous, and you just think that they got it made, and it's like, man, everybody goes through a lot of the same shit, man. We all got problems and worries, and some of us have depression, and it doesn't discriminate. It's like there's a lot of people that are in sort of prominent positions or that are just famous, that you think that they have it all, and man, it's just like it all depends on what's going on up here.
Yeah, dude. Shit hits everybody, bro. But dude, have you heard of Pitchfork? They're like they rate the albums for people.
No.
Bro, Pitchfork rated Donda like a 6.0, whatever on their scale. I think it's out of 10.
Out of 10.
Bro, they rated Peppa Pig album 6.5.
Isn't Peppa Pig the fucking cartoon?
Yeah. It said just go listen to Peppa Pig. Oh, that's so great, bro. How you lose on your rating to Peppa Pig, bro? That shit has to be demoralizing, man. But
yeah, you seen the hurricane came through, man. Hurricane Ida ripped through New Orleans. Dude, did you see the date?
Literally the
16 years
like
to the day,
right?
bro, of Katrina. So New Orleans, as you all know, if you're not living under a rock, watch the news anytime in the last week. New Orleans got hit big time with Hurricane Ida. Luckily, the levees didn't break, but still experienced major flooding, power outages, and major power outages. It was showing like
catastrophic power outages.
Yeah, like these big. And I don't even know what you call them. They're not. I guess they're towers, but those big like iron towers that go up probably 6-7 stories. Like those things crumbling.
Gone. Yeah.
And that those things were like responsible for giving power to like the whole French Quarter, and like it's just gone.
Yeah, they were saying it was catastrophic power outages, and then that like, we can't even like turn this back on tomorrow. Like, there's no repairing this like today kind of thing, and that like even emergency backup things were completely destroyed.
Wow.
I mean, I guess the only upside to stuff like this, like you said, the levees didn't break. I'm sure the learning experience from Katrina was like, hey, how do we make this better? And I'm sure they'll address something with the power. But damn, man, that city can't take it. We've got a love affair with New Orleans. I love that city. Seeing that happen sucked. When I was there like a month ago, I went to a Katrina museum. And I think we talked about this. Maybe it was off the air, where I was like, I had to walk out, man. I was like getting teary-eyed in the museum because they're playing news footage. They're playing phone calls of people calling like who are trapped in attics, who are like, yo, the water's going up. Like, I'm going to drown in here. Like, I love you kind of thing. Like, bye. Like, just gut-wrenching stuff, man. And like when you go there and you meet people and you get kind of entrenched, you get this. I don't know, man. For me, I find it hard not to love that city and love the people there. So then, like, experiencing that and then experiencing that museum and seeing the Katrina stuff kind of like firsthand, where you get to like almost experience what these people went through this museum. Dude, I was like choked up, and I was like, I told her, I was like, yeah, let's just go. And she's like looking at me like, and I was like, there's just only so much of this shit I can watch. I'm on vacation. Like, it's just,
you're gonna ruin it for me.
It sucked, but I love that city, man. Those people are awesome. And
well, some of the footage, man, showed like massive floodings, like cars in like 4 or 5 feet of water. What I did see that I thought was cool, man, and I must have been, I was like, man, I wonder if this person that built this house was here for Katrina. I seen homes built like on stilts.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. And that's a very common thing. You go down.
Is it really?
You go down even in the French Quarter or to the old parts of town. The people who rebuilt their houses, they put them on stilts. Or even in the Garden District and stuff. Like a lot of people's houses were demolished when they rebuilt them. They just put them on stilts.
Yeah, and they go like, yo, like we're like, it's almost like we're in a bowl. Like the chances of us flooding again exist.
Very high. So there's neighborhoods you walk through where the line of water is still visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can see it. Like, and you don't know until like people point it out and you see it, and then you're like, oh shit, that is a line of water. Like you just think, oh, it's a stain on a building, and then like you start to go like, fuck, that same stain is on a few of these and the same exact height, and then you come to find out, you're like, oh, yeah, it's a water line from the water that sat there during
That's
Katrina.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. Like these guys have and the people there pulled together like they call them the Cajun Navy. The museum did a good job of kind of bringing out, but it's basically locals with boats. Because they have swamps and stuff nearby and all that stuff, but they were saying a lot of the rescues happen through just local folks with boats going, like, setting up search and rescue teams, just going door to door on boats, knocking on fucking doors. People are on their roofs, they're jumping down, they're taking them on a boat, they're getting them to, like, an evacuation area, they're riding back out through the neighborhood, dude. They did this for weeks, dude.
That's awesome.
Pulling people out. Yeah, they call them the Cajun Navy, man. So shout out to Cajun Navy, man. That they're basically like, yo, we don't help each other. Like, who's going to help us out kind of thing. And, like a lot of the New Orleans got a bad rap about the looting and the stuff like at the Superdome, but like one of the things that becomes super apparent like during the whole like the kind of the display we saw or whatever was that the Superdome wasn't equipped, and there's even like this interview with the guy on the news going, this is gonna get really bad really fast at the Superdome because of XYZ, and he was right, spot on, dude. And it was like, this is not meant to hold this many people. This wasn't built as an evacuation kind of thing. This wasn't like something like before the power went out, their plumbing couldn't handle the amount of people there, so people were just using the restroom in just random rooms on a corner, like out in the open where they're all just hanging around. So the remodel for the Superdome took a long time, and the cleaning and all, obviously, because there were like literally just piles of crap and pee everywhere.
Who's the guy that does that cleanup?
Yo, imagine hire that.
We got a job for you.
But it's out of there now, right? It's going through Mississippi.
So yeah, I think it's gone to Mississippi already. So I saw that. Speaking of Mississippi, man, Shaquille Brewster, God bless him, man. MSNBC guy was actually just reporting on the storm coming through Mississippi, and during the broadcast, some dude in like a white pickup truck fucking rolls in, gets out of his truck, and just comes over, and he's like running towards him, and he's yelling at him and the crew, making sure like, you guys are telling this story right. I guess he was probably, my assumption is he's conservative, probably doesn't like MSNBC because they're not a conservative network, right? And probably is thinks that whatever they feed is lies. So the guy was reporting on the freaking hurricane, and he was over there like badgering the guy and the crew, like, you better tell this story straight.
And he just I saw the headline, but I didn't get to see what the argument was about. So he was just like making sure basically that they were dude. How?
But then at one point,
distrusting are you about?
About media in general, and it's just like, yo, like, who, what, like you said earlier, there's media for one side and media for the other side, and we all know it.
Agree on, right? But I guess not.
Well, we all know it, right? Like, but
we do, right? Yeah. No one goes in. I guess.
Well, I guess maybe we don't know.
You do
right?
go in thinking that's the end all be all, but
that's it, right? If you believe that your media outlet is the only, as a matter of fact, I know somebody that told me that one time that Fox News is the only news that actually tells the truth.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, man, like I don't find that to be true. Like I think that they lean, kind of far right, and I think MSNBC leans far left, and I don't know who the hell's in the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
if anyone,
dude, I don't know anyone, dude. I think it was here, bro, that during the news broadcast for a storm, that the newscasters in the canoe, and they're like talking about how this is flooded. You know, we had to be in a canoe, and then like in the background you see two dudes just walking, and the water's barely like past their shin.
No,
just walking past them. Oh, it's so fucking good, bro. You gotta look it up on Google. It's like literally they're like, it's crazy here. The water. We have to be in a canoe to bring you this in the middle of the storm, and literally two dudes just walk behind them like this, and it's the water's high. It's like 6 inches or something. It's not high enough for a canoe. Dude. The dudes are literally walking past her. It was so good.
I tell you what, there was footage of like I guess down in the French Quarter of just the winds, right? And then of course there's always somebody outside. So there's somebody crossing the street, and I guess the wind is pushing them from the back and sweeps his legs out.
Holy
and then a little while later, there's another dude like crossing the street with 2 bicycles. And I'm just thinking, where are you going, bro? Like, where are you coming from, and where are you going, and why couldn't you go before this shit started?
Gotta bring the bikes, bro. Maybe he had them tied outside. He wanted to make sure they had safety. The crazy shit is that dude that got swept on his feet, you could have just left him there. No one would have known it was because of the storm. Bro, you go Bourbon Street around the right time, there's people just laying on the floor.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a picture I'll show you after we get off air of a guy, like we were in, actually, remember the Carousel bar we talked about here?
Yep.
We're sitting near a window, right outside of our window, bro. Normal looking dude like us just sits down on the sidewalk, and you're like, all right, I get it. It's brutally hot. He's probably hammered. Bro, proceeds to take his stuff off, like his backpack, whatever, lays down, bro, takes a nap right there while we're there. And then gets up later on and just walks off like nothing ever happened.
Get out,
Slept
bro.
that shit off and just kept it moving. I was like, shout out to you, bro. I was like, I love this town. It's so wild, man.
That's dope, man. I know we getting short on time here. You got anything else?
I think we hit it all, man. I got some shit we could do for next week. Actually, you know what? I do have one more real quick. Because I saw this story and I was like, I don't know where I fall on this yet, but it was just compelling to talk about. It was have you ever heard of The Ethicist? It's this article that the New York Times does.
No.
So an ethicist is basically someone who's like an expert in ethics.
Okay.
Right. So the article's called The Ethicist. So they have like different stories. Like people write to them and ask them questions, kind of like what do you think of blah blah. Anyway, this guy wrote and said, my stepdad has Alzheimer's. Can my mom date someone else? Right. And proceeds to tell the story about how the dad is in the stepdad is in not hospice, but like a rehab facility. Doesn't really remember a whole lot, yada yada yada. So the mom lives by herself now, and she's like, I'm lonely, I want companionship, and so she has started dating. But this guy's still alive. He just lives in like a home, and she lives in her normal home.
And so hold on. So what's his state? Is he like, you say he's Alzheimer's?
He has Alzheimer's, so he doesn't remember her a lot of the time. So he doesn't remember a lot of the family. So it's coming and going. It's early onset.
Okay.
And the question is like, is it okay if your spouse is in that state of mind or in that, like, to move on?
I would say yes.
Yeah, and you know, it's first, man, I initially go, well, I think we would just agree on it. And then I went, they wouldn't remember.
Yeah, but like in a notebook, every day you could tell them the same story.
Bro,
like we agreed on.
That shit made me cry every time like a little bitch, bro. When she doesn't remember him, that shit hit me right in the feels, bro. And then I was like, you see, no matter what we do for y'all not gonna remember in the end anyway.
Dude, I think we told the story on here before, man, of some lady like with like really bad like Alzheimer's, but she still, like, one of the things that she still remembered was how her husband cheated like 50 years ago.
Of course she fucking did.
And it was like, yeah, like there's that shit of like when you get these sort of traumatic events, how they just fucking stick with you.
I'll be like, that just means we need to traumatize you more. It means your life was so good, that was the one trauma that stuck. Be like, I'm batting 99%.
But no, man. I mean, going back to that, man, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like she should be able to. You know what? If you're at that age, your life's almost over.
Yeah.
You know, I think we put too much on how things, quote unquote, should be, instead of just looking at individually, and you just go,
what makes you
this is right for me.
For me, yeah. What makes me happy right now? And he ain't gonna remember anyway when he wakes up tomorrow that I got a boyfriend. I can just go over and visit him, and
you can do that shit on a daily basis.
Yeah, as long as you don't abandon him there. I don't know. I guess there's a ethical way to do this, or there's an agreement, right? Like, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. For me, don't don't wait up. Like, go do whatever you got to do, bro. If I'm in this state where I don't remember shit, like, bro, I don't even want to be on life support or nothing. Like, put me out. Take me out back. Like, the minute I'm a burden, I'm like, I'm good. Like, let me be.
Yeah, I do, man. I think that's... She should be able to do what she wants.
Yeah, it brought up a great thing, though, because I'm like, wow, that's a good point, man. If somebody has Alzheimer's, what if they lived with you? Are you still, like, and you want to, like, yo, I want companionship of someone I can have a conversation with, who's going to remember me, who's going to, like, who can reciprocate. Like, yeah, man, I thought that was, like, it's a really interesting
because you think, like,
dilemma.
Let's just say this person that has Alzheimer's or early onset lives for another, 7, 8, 9 years, and then you're almost dead.
Sickness and in health, bro. That's what people will say.
Yeah, but I mean, that again, this is just like we talk about all the time. It's all ideas, and it's an idea. Marriage is an idea that we've accepted. Marriage in its current state, it's an idea that we accepted. It doesn't mean that it's right.
Right.
And I think that people have to look at what's good for me, almost like without being selfish. Like to your point. Make sure the guy's taken care of. Obviously, he can't do the things that he used to, so we make sure he's taken care of. But it doesn't mean that she should be just give up the rest of her life for that.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, fuck, man. What's the ethical response to that? I'm like,
what did they say?
There is one.
Did they? What the article said?
You know what? I don't know. I have to see if I have the rest of it. But the guy essentially got into. I think he said, like he thought it would be ethical. Like it was almost hey, if he's taken care of, if he's in a home and she pays for everything, he hasn't been abandoned, she's doing right by him, kind of like. And then I guess there's a legal aspect to this as well, but about the legal recourse, like, is it considered cheating? Do you tell him? There's this whole but it was
right, but like he's not taking you. So then now it's somebody, like, if he's in the state that we think he's in, he's not taking you to court for cheating,
and if
right?
he does, he's gonna forget tomorrow that he sued you. when the lawyer hits him up, like, yo, man, we remember the thing about Patty. I need who the fuck is Patty?
It's like Groundhog Day. It's the fucking same thing over and over.
Explain the whole shit over, and then it's like 50 First Dates.
That was that thinking about that movie. I couldn't think of it, bro. The Adam Sandler joint.
Every time I watch that shit, I'm like, give up, bro.
Yeah, right.
I like.
She's not even that hot.
Yeah. I was like, it's Drew Barrymore, bro.
I was gonna say, right? I don't even like Drew Barrymore.
Come on, Adam, you can do better. It's like, he kept going back. I was like, who the fuck is that relentless?
All right, bro. Tell them where they can find us.
Oh, man. Shout out to you guys. You guys can catch us on at the Carbon Footprint Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, at Carbon Footprint Podcast on TikTok. On YouTube, the Carbon Footprint Podcast. Make sure you follow us on there. If you're not, we actually drop a video weekly and the actual podcast, so you can catch the full episode on there, or your favorite podcast platform, which is Apple, Google, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify. I mean, it's everywhere. Wherever.
Don't forget
Ghana, Geo7. That's the one in India. Shout out to you guys. There's I don't know any that we're not. And if we're on something that you like to use and we're not on there, let us know. We'll get it put on there. Yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Man. Yo, as always, thank you. Got some good feedback this week from some people. Shout out to you guys. And I guess we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Bye.